This is M3 Maquis Masters Monday, Patreon channel, Florida Maquis. If you are here, you are at max level. This is where we discuss not only training, the effects of the training. We talk about how we take that training here and we affect it in the real world to reveal things to people that they may not have thought of before. Now, I know that we have been here a lot lately, and I have tried to avoid going back to it on the Freeside YouTube channel, but the amount of information that can be gleaned from this video, not my doing of the video, but from the reaction to it, is epic. It is by far the most successful psychological operation the Maquis ever run. Still to this day, this video is climbing the view rates and the vast majority of people coming to it, even though the likes and dislikes are virtually even now, have some filthy, horrible comment to say. And if it's not that, they're calling me a fearmonger. And if it's not that, they are creating some make-believe scenario about prison guards or administrations giving orders for mass murder. It's like some kind of a comic book. And they really believe this stuff. It's amazing to tell them in this scenario where the government's lost control that you might be at risk from prison break. They are so willing to just say, okay, yeah, but the government's still going to be in control enough to affect this massive, countrywide, nationwide plan for mass execution with the complete cooperation of all of the prison guards all across the country. It's nuts. And then, if that's not the case, then they go to the most prisoners are not violent, but then in the same breath say that, well, your neighbor is just as dangerous. Desperate people do desperate things. So what about all those nonviolent prisoners? Aren't they going to be, 2, 3, 4, 5 days without food? That's going to, make a change in people regardless of who they are, and that's correct. But still, they're going to think they're safe in their little hideouts, regardless of the statistics that prove the exact opposite. Cognitive dissonance, availability heuristic, endowment effect, all working together now in one hurricane with this one video. And I'm going to show you some stats today that are going to shock you. In fact, we'll just go there now. Safe-wise. Now, this is when there are complete functionality. There is complete functionality of the power grid. Everything is working as it should and normally. And these are still the statistics about break-ins and home invasions. Okay, of course they tend to avoid homes with security systems. I get that, but they still hit homes with security systems. Now, most burglaries take place between 10 and 3, not at night. So what does this say? They're not afraid of anybody being there. The majority of break-ins are committed by burglars who live nearby. And if there's 2.3 million prisoners, their families, their loved ones, all that live near somebody. It's just a matter of statistics. Most criminals can burglarize a home in less than 10 minutes. Now, this is an important one. They do so because there's always a clock. You see, when everything's working, it's like somebody's going to call 911. Somebody could see us. We need to get in and out fast because somebody's going to be coming. You take away that clock, when 911 ain't working, there's no rush. They're going to go through systematically. They don't sit and go, oh, that house may be armed or not be armed. Doesn't take a great deal of intelligence to do it either. 30% enter through a home through an unlocked door or window. That's very true. 6 come right through the front door. 34%, number 6, right through the front door. They go to the master bedroom first. Even now, $2,200 with the police. someone is home during nearly 3 out of every 10 burglaries. So it's not going to stop these guys. Even now, only 13.6% of burglaries end in arrest. This idea that they're either afraid of guns or they're not going to find a way to get out there is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I will leave it with this. I know the guys that are here at the Maquis level, there's not very many of you, the Maquis Masters level. But this is the idea of how these guys work, and I've seen it happen in South America. I haven't seen it happen here yet, but it's going to. Here's all that would have to happen in one of these prepper compounds. 4 guys, it's nighttime, and each of them grabs a big, heavy hunk of rock or concrete. And they come up on one of these places, and one guy heaves one right through the front window, main window. Now, guy on the inside, he's going to jump up out of bed, grabs a gun, head for that direction. Now there's 3 unguarded directions. He goes out, he looks around. You know, now remember, power's out, shit hits the fan, no 911 to call, no Lowe's to go to tomorrow to get the stuff to fix it. While he's doing that, somebody's at the back door. And maybe they're working on the back door. He comes back in, he hears that, he goes that direction. Now he's not watching the front anymore, or either side. I think you guys kind of get it now. At night, whoever the person is going to be going from place to place to place to place, trying to find who this is, coming from 4 different directions. Eventually, someone's going to get in. And if it's at night and there's limited or no light, your weapons, useless. In that situation, when you're outnumbered 4 to 1. And this is going to be the thing. There are going to be some homes that are abandoned. Why? People are going to hole up in different areas, and they're going to join forces, so to speak, and that makes sense, but that's going to leave a lot of unguarded homes. And those homes are going to have clothing for these prisoners to change into. It's going to provide them cover. There's probably more than likely going to be at least some food left behind. There's going to be the ability for them to normalize. And I'm saying these guys are showing up with rocks. What if they find with some steak knives? And some tools out of the garage. They could be heavily, and you only need 3 or 4 guys to run up on one of these places. And if it is one of these places, like I'm talking about, that has 8 or 10 weapons and 5,000 or 7,000 rounds and 6 months worth of food and fuel and vehicles, you've just created a nightmare. So the reason I'm saying this is that the vast amount of people coming to this video don't have the ability to do that calculus in their head. Or if they do, their reaction to it is to deny it. And like I said, out here in the middle of Nebraska, out here in the middle of Iowa, southern South Dakota, Kansas, Colorado, the police are not, even if you could call them, which you won't be able to in a shit hits the fan scenario, they're not going to drive all the way out there. They're going to have they're going to have to pick and choose areas to secure. And it's going to leave vast swaths of neighborhoods out in the middle of nowhere just ripe for the picking. And these guys, it's happened. It's already happened in places in Colombia. And the government down there has given up completely on trying to take back control. And if there's a reset, if we go a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without power, without communication, there's going to be chunks of this country that get taken over by mafias. And the denial is epic. I brought up a couple of pictures I was going to use, and I didn't, but this is what they call survival. This one was my favorite, about the bunker mentality. And how they just, the ideas that they have here that somehow, and I love this guy, he's got the shotgun over here, he's got one on his hip, one on his leg, and sitting here, and it's by himself, of course, and, you know, bags of rice everywhere. And oh, look, I didn't see this one up here. I got another one back up here, so that's 5. So anyway, we'll leave it there. Maquis Masters, just the idea here is that the cognitive dissonance and the bunker mentality, I guess, availability heuristic, all working together in an epic way on this video that I had no idea. So go back, listen to what I said if you want to, and you can read through the comments. I've tried to get rid of some of the more filthy ones, but I guess it's going to be what it's going to be. Thank you again. Like, share, subscribe.